Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to install your student email on your Android smartphone. The process is very similar for an Apple device, so don't worry about it too much. You should be able to follow along on basically the same principles. So you want to go to Accounts and Backup, or something that says Accounts. On a Galaxy, it's usually Accounts and Backup. They're kind of stored in the same submenu. But somewhere it'll be something that says accounts, and the same thing will be on an Apple device. It'll say accounts somewhere in the settings menu. And so I want to add an account, and I want to add a Microsoft Exchange Active Sync account. So we're going to add your student email address, which is LLTC.edu. Your first two letters of your first name plus your last name. I'm going to blur this out. Hopefully this will work. And then if I attempt to sign in, it's going to have a problem. It'll check to auto-configure, and it's going to fail pretty miserably, if I remember correctly. Give it a few seconds here. And so we'll have to do a manual setup eventually. And that's where I'll show you the exact things that you need to input into these boxes to make this work. And the same will be true on an Apple device. So I'm going to pause this while it does this. Okay, so eventually it failed because the automatic settings don't work. So what you want to do is look at the manual setup that eventually comes up, and you're going to need to make a few modifications to what it says here. So email address, that can stay the same. That is your full email address. And notice here where it says domain/username. The domain is all caps LLTC. The username is just the part of your email address that comes before the @ So that is what should be here. Nothing else should be there. Sometimes your email app will break this into two fields, domain and username. And in that case, you would put the domain in one box and then your username in another box. But for the way Galaxy does it, this is what it is. It's the domain in all caps, LLTC, and then a backslash, and then your username. Our Exchange server is not LLTC. It's actually exmail.lltc.edu. exmail.lltc.edu, so Exchange Mail. So that is our email server, and that is probably the biggest thing that's preventing it from working at this point. So then once these settings are correctly established, use secure connection, you don't need a client certificate, hit next. It'll check the incoming server settings. I'm going to pause the video while it does that. Okay, once it finishes doing that, it took mine about 20 seconds or so to do. To use this account, you need to apply security settings required by its IT policy. Hit apply. It'll ask you how much email you want to sync. Default for mine is 3 days, and then automatically sync it when emails are received. Only get 50 kilobytes, blah, blah, blah. Calendar sync for 6 months and all that stuff. I'm not allowed to sync everything else, so hit done. It's going to ask for some very scary permissions, but basically email doesn't work if it can't access the things on your phone, so activate. And then I'm going to just call this LLTC. Done. And that will create an email account that I can look at. It's down here in the bottom right corner. I'm not going to open my email inbox because it has, stuff that might FERPA everybody. And yeah, that's it.